You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete. Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You're listening to episode 82 of SitRep Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of the Division. No hamburgers this week, but instead, Yannick drops by the state of the game to say baguette and much more. But first, my name's Mike, and joining me are my co-hosts, Robert.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hello.
Hope you both had a great week, as well as our listeners. Just a very quick heads up. This weekend, there is a double HVT reward event, and it will be taking place from Friday the 17th till the 20th of November. And you will get double rewards from the missions, not from the actual bosses themselves. Chance of classified drops, but only from named bosses, just as a heads up. That being the case, let's get on with some news.
State of the game.
Okay, hot topic this week. Luke, when is the release date of update 1.8?
This year?
Well,
Potentially?
It's a good start. Did
Do you
we
want
get, did any of our guesses, were any of our guesses right?
Oh, yeah, I apologize for all our listeners out there that do watch the state of the game and also listen to this podcast. But Rob, you watched today's podcast, didn't you?
State of the game.
It was a test. You passed, Luke.
Yes.
I may have caught the last 5 minutes.
Oh, the AMA. Yeah, it was going well from what I could see. Yeah, there is no current release date at the minute, but hopefully early December 2017. This year, guys, less than 4 weeks, maybe, we should have 1.8 in our pockets, ready to play.
Why is it taking so long?
Luke, why is it taking so long?
They're making it
Does
smooth
Luke
and
know?
shiny. Yeah, I know everything.
Cool. Enlighten us.
Literally everything. It's not a bad thing that they're taking the time with it, is it? Let's be honest. Do we want 1.8 to be awesome, or do we want 1.8 to be broken for a week while they fix it again?
Our survey says.
I'm just, there's that current bug out at the moment.
Yes.
Has that yet been confirmed as a bug or a UI bug?
I can confirm it's a bug. I've experienced it plenty of times in the DZ. It's definitely a bug.
Okay. Then maybe
And it is
the delay is
currently under investigation, Robert, just to give you a heads up.
Maybe the delay is because they're trying to fix that.
It's possible. I mean, it might be a small factor in it. I'd like to think they're not rushing the update, but the fix for the quote-unquote RPM glitch last time was a hot fix, wasn't it, that needed a client-side download update, whatever you want to call it. So almost inevitably that would be the same this time, which is more money if they've got to roll out another update, yeah. So, I can... Obviously, the two are going to come out together, assuming they can get it fixed. But I'd like to think that they can get that fixed on the side of let's make 1.8 nice and shiny and smooth and actually working. So...
One thing that did sound really good is testing. They repeatedly said the word testing and going back and checking and then testing. And I wonder if this is kind of one of those cases where obviously this is a huge patch, one of the biggest apparently that we've seen in the history of the Division. And they want this to go as well as, we've all said this is going to be, the Division's version of the Taken King. Because that patch basically, saved it content-wise. Or was at least one of the best content updates. And, I think this is going to be one of the best content updates we've had since the release of the game. Hopefully, apart from Survival, because I fucking love Survival. But there we go. But the fact they're spending a lot longer time to fine-tune stuff and test stuff, that's awesome. And the fact they actually came out and said it, they should have said this last week, or
Maybe they didn't know last week.
Yeah, one thing that I did notice, they did say on the state of the game was like, oh, well, maybe we did drop the PTS too soon. I mean, and everyone's complaining that they haven't got update 1.8. Yeah, I disagree with that. Like, the more, we've all said before, the longer they have testing this thing, the better. Yeah, the PTS could have gone on a bit longer, but I'm hoping that they've used the additional time since the PTS ended and like till now. We don't know when this is going to drop, but what's the guesstimate of when this is going to drop? What, mid to beginning of December?
Well, it's normally a Tuesday, right? And they said
Yeah.
early December.
If they
So
want
it's
to
going to
stick...
be.
Sorry, Rob, go on.
So it's going to be the 5th or the 12th.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
First 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
If it's the 5th, that's not going to be good. Just
Well,
for
not for
other
you.
reasons.
Not for you, it won't be. I mean,
Really
I'll
hope
be
it's not
there,
the 5th.
and our listeners will be there, and
I'll
Luke will
definitely
be there.
yeah.
And another thing that's happening the same week, technically on the 5th when that drops, potentially, it could be the 12th, but if it does drop on the 5th, 3 days or a couple of days later, we're getting a global event strike to go with this.
Mm.
Are you looking forward to that, Rob?
Like I said, I really hope it's not the 5th.
Oh, God.
I'm going to have the week off work. Just to
To
get
be-
enough gaming hours in.
If I'm being...
Are you feeling a bit sick, Rob?
Yeah, maybe. That's a good idea.
Not that you would ever do that, but
I'm
Again.
getting the flu on the 5th.
again.
If I want to be really, really selfish about this, I'd like them to drop the update on the 19th of December.
Is that
So
when you do finish work soon after that by any chance?
I finish work for 2 weeks on the 20th, so bring the GE on. I'll just be sad that my PlayStation was 72 hours solid.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Do you reckon
We've
the
got,
masks
family and
are going to be
kids and
Christmas
shit.
Christmas masks?
Oh, dude, don't even. Did you see Matt Goes Book tweeted out yesterday or the day before, he's put his agent back in his Christmas jumper and his Christmas beanie hat and
Yeah, I
got
just
his
thought
weapon
I could put
skins
I can put all my freaking Christmas stuff back on that everyone was like, oh, you're a dumbass for buying that shit. I was like, no, because I'm fucking supporting the game.
yeah.
But like, you could have a Santa mask, elf mask.
It's got to be Christmas
Grinch.
masks this time, man. I really hope it's like a Santa Claus mask and a
Snowman?
snowman, yeah. An evil snowman, that'd be awesome.
What about a snowman costume? Snowman vanity set.
Oh, don't, dude.
That'd be hilarious. A rogue snowman. I want it now. But
Confirmed.
yeah, like, how long has the PTS been finished? What, a couple of weeks now? 3 weeks? If they-
2 weeks and a bit. I had this discussion with somebody on Twitter earlier. It finished on the 31st of October. And they were like, oh, it's been a month since the PTS has finished. No, it fucking hasn't.
Someone definitely doesn't know what time it is or what day it is.
They could have done with making it a bit longer then, I reckon.
Well, I think everybody said that, didn't they? That it should have been at least 4 weeks, but, reasons.
Time, money, the part of the big conglomerate that is Ubisoft. And at the end of the day, if the big man says go, you gotta go. So, but I'm kind of hoping that, if we said 4.5 weeks, they'll drop it, for certification, maybe beginning of December, mid-December, not mid, but like the 12th. That's your 2 weeks, I'm guessing. So then you got 4.5 weeks of testing, making sure the build's good to go. And yeah, hopefully it's solid gold once this drops, because you know how many people came back for the last GE, and if we're going to get that for 1.8, there's so many people, I see on Reddit every day. I said this last week, like new players, blah, blah, blah. But people are like on standby waiting to play this. I'm on standby waiting to play this. The DZ's got a bug at the minute. It's not great. People are stacking mods and somehow what they're getting like 9K electronics, 9K firearms and killing everybody. Luke knows it firsthand experience this week. It's not fun. We know that's probably going to get patched this pretty much either during this next update or probably be fixed in a very quick hot fix afterwards. Can't get my words out. But I'm looking forward to it. There's not much really else I can say. But in the meantime, I guess everybody's like stacking up their DivTech, exotic caches. One question they did get today on the state of the game: can you rerun the old global events? By the sounds of it, they don't really want to because it's a little bit late in the game to be trying to rerun those because everybody's looking forward to 1.8, and I guess they don't kind of want to kill the vibe with that. But then they were kind of worried about rewards. Rob, how do you feel about that? If they reran the last 2 global events, would you be bothered about the rewards being the same?
No, because I still need some of the gear.
Exactly.
I imagine a lot of the player base is in that situation.
Luke, how do you feel, man?
I've got everything from those 2 global events, but I would be chasing the commendations, so I wouldn't be necessarily worried about the rewards. I'd be more bothered about the little patches and your commendation score and whatever. Because especially with the first one, I didn't go after the commendations at all with the first one. So it was just whichever ones you got ticked off while you were playing the game in your usual manner. So yeah, I mean, I'd like to have seen it. I understand why they're not doing it. I completely understand the reasons that they gave on State of the Game for not doing it and why they don't want to do it until we've had all 4 of the original lineup of global events, if you like. But yeah, it is what it is. It would have been a good idea, but I get it.
No, that's cool. And huge issue that I didn't mention is the fact that it's not a simple case of just pressing the GE's, enable button and it's ready to go. Guess what, guys? We're live this weekend. It might be, but that update could be with update 1.8.
Is the press go on the GE button next to the please fix this server lag button and the fix this bit button and all the big red ones? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd have to double check with Matt Schotter's huge board of, Division fix things. Buttons.
Why has Matt Schotter still got it? Shouldn't he have given that back?
I'm hoping so.
Maybe that's why it's still broken. I keep doing bunny ears into the camera and nobody on the podcast can see this. It's like...
I'm not sure what bunny ears is. He's just making certain gestures at me that looks kind of rude, but there we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Glitch under investigation. Lag, desync issues. Still working on improving them. I think we just have to live with it at this point. It's the player base versus servers versus stuff in the game that I think we're too late to kind of fix this far into the cycle of the game. So we'll have to either wait for the future or just kind of see what happens. Maybe they'll find a miraculous cure for it one day. We never know. Or you lovely people will all come back and love the game as much as we do. However, one thing, that's pretty much news all out the way. You, Rob.
What?
Nothing.
You've already said it once.
Yannick and Petter did do a bit of a AMA at the end of the state of the game today, which lasted, 20, 30 minutes? Luke, you watched the whole thing, didn't you?
I haven't watched the whole thing, no. I've watched almost
Dedication,
all
my
of
dear
it.
friend. I'm joking. Don't look at me sideways. It's fine. I watched the whole thing. I listened to every baguette that Yannick said on that stream.
Why was he saying baguette?
Well, if you're interested, go back and watch the Twitch broadcast, dude. But
You could just tell me.
No, I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
But they did this AMA at the end of the state of the game. Short state of the game this week. And something that was kind of nice was they just kind of sat there for 30 minutes and took questions from Twitch. And they weren't maybe on par with Rob's 60 question challenge that he took the other week here on SitRep Radio. But we didn't get any Where's Hamish or Yannick Say Baguette questions on here. So maybe we'll have to get listeners to send those in next time.
How many questions did Petter and Yannick have to answer that included the words Kevin and or Spacey?
I would tweet at Yannick and Petter. No? You don't want to do that one? No?
No, I'm quite scared of tweeting at Yannick, to be honest.
I've got a funny story about Kevin Spacey. Another one.
Is it this the part of the show where we're like, we just bleep out this bit?
I was playing Destiny, surprise. And and I was in the Crucible,
Dead game.
and I got killed by someone. I can't remember what his name was, and I noticed that the whole team had a clan tag called Kevin Spacey's Boys, and I really wish I screenshotted it, but I forgot.
You did say to me you wanted to join that clan, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's only fair that I do.
Did you say to them, I've got proof?
No.
Do you need mental help? Can we help you in any way?
That's quite a loaded question, isn't it?
Anyway, some questions from Twitch that were answered. Aiming, shooting, healing. Yes, you'll be able to aim and heal, but you're not going to be able to aim, shoot, and heal all at the same time. So it's one or the other. As mentioned the other week, Xbox One X upgrade will be dropping soon, but whenever it's done. Survival changes. We all want survival changes. I keep seeing it on Twitch. We've shouted about it. This guy's on social media shouting about it. That was another thing. Battle Royale. Yannick was like, well, there's quite a few Battle Royales out there now. It's like, but they're doing really well. But yeah, there's no survival changes in 1.8. They didn't say anything about the future, but in 1.8. The Division movie. We finally got some news on it, Rob.
Yeah?
It's still happening, but that's it.
Okay. Well, that's
I don't want to kill
exciting.
your hopes and dreams, but...
That's exciting. We're still casting.
Why do you want to go for it?
No. I'm not an actor.
Oh, can you imagine if a load of us got as extras?
That would be pretty cool.
Some of the cosplayers and that are obviously in Ubisoft's little black book of agents. Oh, that'd be awesome. There's an idea for you, Yannick.
I just leave that awkward pause in there. It's fine.
IFM.
Also, expanding the stash or backpacks or loadouts, there's no plans to change any of those at the minute because I'm guessing they would require a lot of resources to extend those. So, unfortunate. One big thing that did stand out, are there any updates beyond 1.8? They specifically said they will talk about everything that happened or whatever's going to happen once update 1.8 has dropped.
Yeah, because
but not at the minute.
They've never.
It was
That's one
worded
thing.
Very
sorry.
carefully.
What and after year one, where they did like a roadmap, that's one thing they haven't done is they haven't talked about the next thing until this thing's gone, which kind of makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, I do like that. Let's keep the hype like in order at least.
Yeah, but it was the way he answered it twice, and the first time was like, "Oh, we don't know," and the second time was like, "We'll talk about the future once update 1.8 is dropped." I was like, "Fuck yes!" But you know, even Shield Source was like, "Fuck yes!" Was it Division 2 or Year 3 content confirmed? I'm not saying that, but
my vote would be my bet would be on Year 3 rather than Division 2 this soon.
Yeah, if that is the case, I reckon massive patch. I reckon there'd be, I don't know. Would we want another year like what we've had this year?
What, with the game being fully supported? Yes, please.
Yes, not doubting that. But would you? All right, I'm saying now. Would you pay for a full-on expansion?
Yes,
like not what we've got in 1.8, but extended story missions.
Hell yes.
You know, things like that. I don't think you need to add something specific like survival, but missions, cutscenes. You know, something that would significantly extend what we have as the game at the minute. That's just, I'm saying that in such a way that I'm trying to be careful, like significantly extend, but not just here's more content that has nothing to do kind of with the main.
I'd take either with open arms, to
obviously,
be honest. Yeah. I don't think we'll get story missions. I really don't. I know everybody wants that. I'm including myself in that, but I don't. It's too late. If they were going to do story missions, they would have done it year 2, and then the quote unquote God.
Oh, hold on a minute. Well, technically, we're getting more story.
Yeah.
Can't count those out because we're getting audio logs in 1.8.
Specifically talking about missions, and I was.
Yeah. I don't think the game is designed to accept extra add-ons like that. That's why all the DLC has been the nature it has been, like add-ons to the game, not part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I expect we will never see like a free survival weekend or like just have survival go free to play.
Oh, it should though, dude. It'd be awesome if free for everybody to play.
Yeah, I think we saw that mentioned by one of the guys from Ubisoft on Twitter. Like, survival free to play or free survival weekend would be awesome. For like just to have that on its own to pull players into the game, like with games like Fortnite and other free to play games like Overwatch. There's a free Overwatch weekend coming up this weekend. And I think for anybody that looks at the original 2013 trailer. And it's like, I kind of like that. Survival is that's that experience that people are looking for. And I think it'd be kind of cool to have that and then have this whole different world of The Division for people to try out or buy. But ain't going to be happening with this game.
I know.
Like this iteration, unfortunately.
I know we've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm still a big advocate of letting the DLC stuff be free as well, especially if they are going to go into a year 3. Definitely make it free for year 3 because
I would really like a huge push for them to try and make, or just package it all together. Package the whole lot, 20 quid and you've got the whole lot, or $25 or whatever the cost is elsewhere. Just at this point, yeah, you can pick it up cheap separately and get it on free, get it on cheap websites and things like that, but like Ubisoft should be the one, that would bring the player base in. It's not just that. I keep seeing, Rob, you've probably seen it as well, posts on Reddit where people are like, which expansion should I buy? I can only buy one. But if they reduced all 3 of them to the cost of one of them, what, £7-8 or something stupid?
Yeah.
You've got all of them. At this point, we're almost 2 years and the DLC is still, what, £25, something like that, £20? I know it drops up and down.
Reddit's constantly been an interesting place this week as well. Notice lots of people going, I'm coming back to the game. What do I need to do? Like lots of posts like that.
People.
Yeah.
A lot of people helping out. It's like all the salty players left, kind of. It's kind of this. I know. I say that in that way, but it is. I know we discussed this the other day. Then we looked like in a chat, and we were basically like, the game is awesome, but as a result, you attract like you attract both players, but one player tends to be more vocal because of the type of player you've attracted, because of the mechanics of the game. Assholes are going to come to the game because of what they can do in the Dark Zone, but then they're not going to. Not me and you. Are you calling it? Well, unless you want to be an asshole, it's fine. But you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I do.
There's 2 types, but the assholes seem to be like, oh no, I don't want this changing, or blah, blah, blah. But it seemed to be more violent. Born Diesel put a video up about the community and the divisions in the divisions and how the community is basically like attacking each other from the PvE to PvP side, and the fact that they both need each other to basically move on in the future. I completely agree with that.
The irony is that's what happens in the Dark Zone.
Well, that's the whole point. That's what he was reading into if you've watched this video.
I didn't.
I did see Shield Source put up that post on Reddit this week as well, where he was basically saying, that hunters are basically going in to kill off, the first or the second wave? It was the first wave, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of them, but like basically the divisions being like you've got phase 1, phase 2 of the division, and then you've got hunters being like the cleanup crew of the division. So there's like different factions within the division agency itself, which I thought was a really cool take.
He tied part of his theory into the Dark Zone supply drops as well, didn't he? The fact that Fei Lao still doesn't know what they're for and who's collecting those. So he was saying that maybe the DZ supply drops were meant for hunters, and potentially that's why their shade tech is better than ours, because obviously they can disrupt our shade tech, which instantly makes theirs better than ours. But yeah, for anybody who hasn't read that, it's at Shield Source on Twitter. I'm not sure what his Reddit name is, but he has posted it on his Twitter. I think I've retweeted it out on Twitter as well at SitRep Luke. So yeah, go and read it. It's definitely worth reading.
He was also on Bombshell Jackets this week on their episode, I'm pretty sure.
He was.
And you will have seen him probably as, was it Agent Highlight, as a Hunter cosplay
Yes.
at some point. So, good job, man.
That was a good episode of Bombshell Jackets this week, actually.
You're not going to call him an asshole this week, anybody?
No, not this week. I'll
He's
say
a lovely,
that. I
lovely boy.
can't do it every week. They'll expect it.
Has he still quit smoking?
As far as I'm aware, yes. So GG, Remy.
Yes.
Well done,
good
dude.
on him.
We have got one more thing to talk about, which was on the state of the game, which we'll discuss in a very quick minute. But for anybody that didn't get the chance over the weekend, make sure you go and check out Weezer's VOD. I can't remember where he's put it, but if you go out over to Twitter at Game with Weezer, he put a VOD up explaining his original idea for the Dark Zone. And it was, he basically had like no rogue toggle, there was friendly fire and things like that. Stuff that, you know, the rogue players would like. And it was, I think it was something along the lines of rogue players would go and get rogue vanity sets if they got loot chests, and then non-rogues would get sheriff sets if they just got normal loot pickups and things like that. It was really interesting. I've probably explained that really bad, but there was some good conversation over there.
Was he?
And
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, I spent about 20 minutes during and after they finished recording, talking to a guy about, he wasn't happy that 3 PvE people were basically discussing the Dark Zone and things like that, and it was basically going on about it would make a difference and blah blah blah. And I literally sat there the same way to you as I did to you the other week, Luke. Are you gonna go rogue? And you were like, yeah. But the whole time this dude's like, oh, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but are you going to go rogue? Do you care? And he was just like completely just ignoring the questions.
Who were the 3 then? Obviously, Game with Weezer was one of them.
Sage was on there as well, and Remy.
I know at least 2 of those people go in the Dark Zone. They might not be big Dark Zone players, but the only one I'm aware of that doesn't, and that's got nothing to do with the fact he doesn't like PvP, it's that he doesn't like Division PvP, and that's Ranger Hero Sage. So
yeah, because he plays other stuff.
He's got no basis for that argument for that reason. And the second reason is you need PvE players as input into Rogue 2.0. Otherwise, you're just redoing the content to suit the Rogue players that are using it now. And most Rogue players that are using it now don't necessarily think it needs to change too much. So you'd never readdress the balance, and you'd never get any new players into the Dark Zone. So whoever that person was just needs to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we ended the conversation quite nicely, I guess. I don't know. It's this weird situation where I kind of ended up modding, like, I guess, how people do on the State of the Game chat, and it was really weird that I was like trying to basically go, okay, but why do you have a problem with this? And because I listened to that episode with Binary Kitten, and I remember like they were saying, you know, what they were doing in that situation, how you talk to these people. And I remember Weezer saying it as well, about how you just kind of talk to these people and ask what the problem is, and like misinforming people and things like that. And yeah, it was weird being in that situation where I'm the one kind of going, yeah, but why? Why do you think this? And it's just the fact the person unfortunately had one mindset and was like, Rogue 2.0 is going to kill this game. And it's kind of like, yeah, but we can make it better and things like that. And it was just weird, but definitely go check out Weezer's VOD if you want to go find out what his original idea was for the Dark Zone and the Rogue changes. I think what it came down to at the end of the day, it was just too much time to do what they wanted to do. That was it, unfortunately.
As far as I'm aware from talking to him privately, there are elements of his idea that are exactly going into the game, aren't they? There are elements of his idea that they took a step further and maybe a step too far. I can't comment. And then there are obviously, like you said, there's bits of it that they just couldn't put in or didn't want to put in. I mean, for every conversation that we've had about an IFM, you've then potentially passed that on to Massive, who have got a team of 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people, whatever. They're all going to have their own slight spin on any idea. So Weezer gave them this idea, and maybe they were already working on parts of it anyway. We don't know, but it obviously just got diluted and changed slightly. So,
yeah. No, look at our good friend Chris Cunningham last week. He sent in an IFM, and then we kind of riffed on that. And I think Rob was on about weapon talents from the IFM. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Anyway. Okay, discussion topic. Right, something they did go over on the State of the Game this week is basically, they say a few months ago, what was it? It felt like the beginning of the year. It was like May, June time. They basically put out a State of the Game survey asking if players wanted it weekly, every now and then, anytime they had news, or basically what they wanted on it. And they basically discussed what they're going to try and do going forward. So they want to try and keep the State of the Game. It's not going to be happening next week. They're going to try a week off because, as you know, Luke, I think you saw it as well, Rob. Chat for State of the Game last week was volatile. It was toxic as hell. And basically everyone's like, where's 1.8? Where's 1.8? Fuck you, the game's there, blah, 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 I hate you. There was even people in chat today going, oh, you guys should all get sacked or like lose your jobs today. And it was just like, it wasn't as bad today, I will admit that, but it's been increasingly worse over the past couple of weeks, which is like this weird thing where it's understandable because people are really excited for 1.8.
No, that's not understandable. That is uncalled for behaviour.
Yeah.
Well said.
But that's what I mean. It's like this weird situation where I can understand why they're upset, but they're excited, if you see what I mean. They're excited over update 1.8. They just want it now, unfortunately. But basically, yeah, they're going to try and turn it, the State of the Game into like a primetime show where they kind of did at one point. They were like showing highlights of the week, videos, stuff from the community. It just all kind of stopped at one point. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of months back, they all like people would send stuff in, or they'd have like a video at the end of the State of the Game, and that was really cool. Yeah. But yeah, they want the community's feedback. Do they keep the State of the Game on a weekly basis, or do they just put it out there with, when there's news? I mean, I personally don't care. Don't care, but I don't care how much news is on there, but I like to see that interaction with the community in any shape of, I say any shape or form, but in this method that they've put and stuck with for the last almost 2 years, which is being on face for the camera, going, even if it is taking a lot of stick, which unfortunately it is 90% of the time, isn't it? Does anybody want to pick up off that? Do you want the State of the Game to continue on a weekly basis, or would you just like to see them come out when there's news?
I think maybe going bi-weekly wouldn't be a bad idea, because like a lot of the State of Games recently have been quite short. So if they like spread it out a bit over every 2 weeks, they could like flesh it out a bit. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be just a 6-minute. Here you go, this was what happening. Bye.
Okay, so they do a State of the Game for when update 1.8 drops and they don't come back for 2 weeks. Yet there's bugs, there's things like that building up. How would you feel then?
Well, as long as they post like updates on the forums and on Reddit and stuff, that wouldn't be an issue.
I suppose it's this weird thing where if you don't follow social media and that, you just follow the Twitch, you would just be like misinformed. I don't know. Luke?
Yeah.
I agree with Rob where the 6-minute State of the Games are concerned. I don't really see the point in Petter sitting in front of the camera going, I haven't really got any news for you this week, but hello. And then he sits there and stares at chat for 4 minutes. Like, no offense, Petter, love you, dude. But I've enjoyed the state of the games recently when there's been more to digest, but obviously there's a big update to talk about. I think, to counter your argument, Mike, if they were going to put the update out and then disappear for 2 weeks and not talk about any potential glitches or anything that came out, that would be a huge mistake. But that would that would be a special circumstance. It's not like a new glitch is going to turn up every week they decide to not do a state of the game. So potentially not going to be a new glitch turn up every week when they decide not to do a state of the game. I would love to see state of the game every week. I really would. I think the Division community is very lucky to have the interaction that we get from the devs and the community managers, etc., whether it be forums, Twitter. State of the game is obviously the example we're talking about at the moment. But we're a year and a half in, closing up on 2 years in. If they haven't got the content to keep it going weekly, and it is just going to be one or two of them staring at chat while everybody says, game's dead, then yeah, don't do it. If you don't feel it's worth it, it'll just make it better when you do it, like bi-weekly or once a month or whatever it ends up being. So
you said doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
On a selfish note, I hope at least bi-weekly, if not more than that, because, I mean, what are we going to talk about?
It's literally a case of but that's not why we want them to do that. How many other games have that community interaction that the guys at Massive do? I think half of people's problem is they can't, I'm going to be honest, they can't literally come out and say, hey, we can't answer that question because, I mean, look at masks and things like that. They didn't want to show it because of marketing. There's so many. They have they probably have like a news and media person that says you can't answer these questions, you can't answer these questions. They have those people there, and it's all covered by like law and things like that, because if you say anything out of line or if you start being hostile with chat and things gets like out of control. So me and Luke had a situation literally, what was it, after the state of the game, or was it Friday evening, where UB Amper, who's the new community manager
Mm-hmm.
for I forget which one it is, developer manager for the Division for Redstorm, obviously streams the Division on Fridays, and he put out, well, do you guys want a weekly state of the game, or do you want it to go away? And even if it doesn't have any details, or do you just want like it to go away for a bit? And I replied saying, yeah, I said it before, like the community manager team have done an excellent job with the community interaction since launch, and no matter how great or small the details are, the feedback and insights into the decisions made, like for me personally, they all count. And I know you followed up with that, Luke, and we ended up like in a back and forth with Twitter and a few people on Twitter, and I can understand people's reactions to, like, especially even people in Twitch chat, where people are like, why haven't you answered my question? Why haven't you answered my question? Because they can't, being honest, but they can't literally state, I can't answer that question. And that's half the problem, I feel, half the time, And there was a lot of people going, oh, well, I've messaged community managers and I don't get replies back and things like that.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, there's definitely going to be people in the background saying, categorically, you cannot talk about this, and this. And if you get asked this, and this, just point them in this direction, or whatever a media relations officer would do for a company like Ubisoft or Massive, whatever. Being realistic, the amount of questions that somebody like Amper would get over Twitch and Twitter and the forums and stuff, he's not going to answer everybody. He just can't. I think.
But it's not just him though. It's all of them. Like, it's all the guys as well.
I was just using him as the example. That was all. I mean, I think unfortunately for Amper, he's got some really big shoes to fill, because as far as I'm aware, Matt Shotcher must have had his phone on him 24/7, because he used to send answers out to literally as many people as he possibly could. And maybe that's not how Amper is choosing to do things. I mean, that's his prerogative. But I think I mean, I said it as part of that back and forth that you referred to, Mike. We, as a community, are definitely going to miss the interactions that we get from the devs and the community managers and whatever as soon as they start to pull back even just a little bit. So, going from weekly state of the games to bi-weekly state of the games, I think they will get some complaints to start with. Maybe to ease us into the transition, add an extra stream in or two. I don't know what the answer is, but I mean, we are very lucky. I mean, Rob, you'll know more about the Destiny community than I ever will, but Bungie don't give this sort of feedback to their players, do they?
They do streams, but it's normally just to build hype. Like they did one this week, but there was no mention on any glitches in the game or anything. It's just like this is what coming. There it is.
I gotta be honest there. I mean, Luke, you pretty much put it spot on in that freaking back and forth on Twitter, which is basically, I fear the Division community won't realize just how good we have it community manager team wise until they're gone, 100%. And that's hugely disappointing to say. And I agree with that. So and I think the other thing that annoyed me as well was the fact that we were getting like, oh well, they'll answer you guys back because you guys have influence. It's like, what influence? We stayed there. Like, we're not bought out. We're not on freaking Ubisoft's payroll. We just do this because we like. Oh yeah, you got money training you get back on. You don't need any money. But we do this because we're three guys like that love the game. We want it to do well, and we've been here since the start. I mean, I keep seeing things pop up like, oh, when did you start playing the game? And you have like people come posting like 1.3 or survival. I'm like, we've been here since the beta, and I know there's a lot of people that have been as well, but there's other people that are only just picking up this game, and we love this game as much as everybody else, and that's probably why we defend it and
why we do a podcast about it.
Well, yeah, but the other thing that I felt with this podcast that we get on a bit of a downer with it, but I feel like we don't follow the train that everybody else kind of goes on, which is like it's the end of. Do
you not feel like this is a bit of the start of the slow fade though? Maybe
to
them just slowly fading away.
What, you?
From the microphone. No, I mean like as I don't know how else to describe it.
At some point, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Luke put it in words earlier, which is we're 2 years into a game that we don't know. We're unsure about the life cycle. The guy, the dev team and the community managers is like, we're here. We're not going anywhere, and we've got that kind of promise at the minute. But like you, the players, we have no idea what the future holds, and we've said it before, and we'll say it again, which is why we are still here. We will be here till the end, no matter what happens. That's all we can do at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and we'll do our best. Whether we go on beyond that or not is we'll just have to see. But as for the state of the game, don't get rid of it. I'll say that now. I would sit through. I'm sorry, Peter, but I would sit through your 6-minute state of the game chats for sure. I will say one thing. I enjoyed the AMA, but get the questions to start with. That might help things out a little bit. Instead of two people staring at a screen. I'm just saying. Or just get some sweet elevator music like they mentioned.
Joke, it'd be fine.
Or, yeah. I mean, where were you? Where were you when the freaking state of the game was going on? Yannick, have you ever had sexual relations with Kevin Spacey? I don't know.
I was playing, I don't know what I was doing.
He'd have got banned from Twitch so quick, dude.
I don't know. Gabe was covering today, so you might have been all right. If it was Hamish, he'd be like, oh, there's that sit-rep Brog guy.
State of the Gabe.
But yeah, it's kind of sad. I don't want to see it go. And it's away next week, so
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I genuinely hope most people have either said or thought or posted on Twitter, whatever, that they don't want it to go away. Even just at the very least, so that, like Rob says, it stays bi-weekly, because it shows them that we are enjoying state of the game still, and they're just like, well, Instead of doing 2 6-minutes, let's do a 15-minute one every 2 weeks. Fine.
But it's exactly like they said in the chat. It's like, we don't do a state of the game, you complain. We do a state of the game, you complain. Last week they had the devs in to talk about the underground. I think something they need to get on, like a little bit on the ball with, is if they're doing a state of the game and they're having devs on, but they're just talking about how things happen in the content. Say there's not much news in like your social media messages, and just say, but we're going to be talking about some of the behind the scenes, like they do with like the Division podcast. Because I know Hamish does the Division podcast, and he'll be like, I've got the writer of the Division on, or the novel, and it's so and so. Send in your questions. I'd quite like to see that on the Thursday broadcast, if that's what they're going to do with like a primetime show. Start bringing artists on, like take what you do on the Division podcast, but pull it into the state, like the state of the game. I'd like to see
a live
that
podcast then, yeah.
Well, they do that anyway. It's all put out as a podcast.
I'd love to hear more from team members that don't necessarily get their moment in the spotlight. I mean, I know a few of the devs of, like, obviously Terry's there every couple of weeks with Keith. We've had the Reflections guys on twice. Thylander used to do it back in the day, didn't he, with various other people? Yeah, just wheel them out of the office and put them on State of the Game for a bit. I'd love to hear what people do and how they do it and how long it took to do this and this. And obviously they're not going to give us too many specifics for copyright reasons and content protection and whatever else you want to call it. But yeah, I'd love to hear just even little bits of insight from, like you say, artists or...
They could build like round the State of the Game as it is. Have your news. Have like developer on, hey, I worked on story. I did like storyboarding, or I worked on this area of the game. They've got so many people that worked on that game. Pull them in and just sit them down for 5-10 minutes and then go on to community. You know, you've got their community developers and managers. They know what goes on in the community, the builds and things like that that's going on. So get all that content in there. There's enough there to fill the void. And plenty of people want the State of the Game in one shape or form, because the minute they said, do we get rid of it? It was like a whole wall of text. No, don't get rid of it. And it was like one or two people going, yeah, get rid of it.
Hashtag keep SOTG.
Yeah, keep the State of the Game. I think that's enough on that anyway. But yeah, don't go anywhere, guys.
Please don't go
We
away.
love you. Okay, we do have an IFM this week.
We do?
Yes, it's a follow-up from last week from CT Cunningham 02000 on Twitch and Twitter. I think it's 020 on Twitter.
AKA Chuck Norris.
Yes. So this is basically a follow-on to last week's, which was gear sets being able to unlock a talent. So he basically messaged in saying, from you guys talking about a fourth talent for exotic weapons, how would you like it being able to having to set a bonus on an exotic weapon? So if you have 4 people on a fire team and all have the same exotic weapon equipped, it's able to unlock a fourth talent on the exotic weapon. And then like if 3 have it equipped, and then kind of like your gear set pieces, if you see what I mean. So if you got 3 people holding the same weapon, it gives you this talent. If you got 4, it gives you this talent. Can you think of any weapons?
Destiny's already done this. Just saying.
The raids on Destiny.
No, the Rat King.
Is it the Rat King?
The Rat King on Destiny. If all 6 members and you're all stood next to each other, well, it's slightly different. But if you're all stood next to each other, it increases the reload speed and the rate of fire.
In that case, I'm going to say no. I don't like this idea, just because space magic. Thank you.
But no, he did say like the balance is going to be like potentially a huge problem. But imagine if like you have to all run the craziest LMG with it fires all over the place, but it has a really cool set bonus on it.
Yeah, it all depends on how shit the gun is to begin with. Because you're not going to put that sort of perk on a good gun, because that would just be insanely overpowered.
Trying to think what the sniper rifle is in the game.
No, you wouldn't put on a sniper rifle. That would just be stupid. Know. It would have to be...
Well, it might not be.
It would be stupid. I mean, I don't know. I imagine it being on like an SMG. I don't know why an SMG came to mind, but like just a crap SMG, not one of the good ones. Maybe like a Thompson or something.
That's exactly what I was just about to say, the Thompson.
Okay, so
Make
what
that
would
gun
be the
good again.
exotic
Yes.
talent for a fourth? Everyone's running Thompsons. You're all in your suits. You got your ties.
That's
You're
a
going,
Tommy
shit,
gun.
boys.
not the
Tommy gun,
Thompson.
dude.
All right, we'll get the Tommy gun.
I don't know. You could make the rate of fire, or you could do it to crit damage. Being an SMG, but you'd have to like you could do like a 30-meter vicinity. So if and it stacks, if you got 4 of you, then you can have 4 times the buff. And if one of you guys disappear, then you only have 3 times the buff. I don't know. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it though.
I can imagine like having 4 LMGs or something and have maybe like a trickle health talent. So like your health is like you've continually got like a trickle charge on your health. If you're all running LMGs, just something simple that doesn't, I guess, lead to balancing issues.
I don't know, you got to kind of be careful because it'll overlap with like certain skill objects.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. You like that, Luke, or you got any more input?
Just no, that's a bad idea.
I don't. Yeah, coming from a PvP side of things, I don't like it. Like when you were just saying then the trickle health charge, I was like, dude, when you've got a team of 4 manhunts set up with a reclaimer box already, and then you're giving them extra health regen from all running LMGs. I don't need that shit in my life.
Exactly my thought.
Yeah, but that's when you go, you can basically go, well, you can have this talent, but we're going to take away your skill haste.
But yeah,
That's what I mean. I would like whatever you have as...
If you penalised somebody with something like skill haste, they wouldn't get used, so there's no point putting it in the game. Because skill haste is best in slot at the moment, dude. You know that.
Yeah,
so.
but I know that, but it also depends on what the rate of the trickle heal is.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
if it was as good as a tick from a reclaimer, if you know what I mean, pack, but you all four of you had to be running these terrible weapons to run it, but you had no skill haste, so the cooldown of your like skills and other stuff were, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, on the flip side of that, if you put it on a truly terrible gun, nobody's going to use it for PvP anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I think the balancing is a very, very valid argument against this idea. Like, no offense, but I mean, this game's complicated enough as it is already without adding another 4th talent in that goes with agent talents and with your weapon talents and with your gear set talents, all trying to proc all at once. Your screen would be full of little proc bars.
I'm fine with that. It looks cool. I'm doing some shit. I don't know what it is, but it looks good on my screen.
Well,
anyway,
maybe
that's this week's IFM. Join us next week when we have talents unlocked by stacking mods. Maybe
that's already in the game, dude. You can't.
Kind of already happening. That's free electronics and firearms. I forgot about that. There's no questions this week, but I will ask you both a question. This is, probably the end of the show now. So if anybody wants to leave, that's all Division-related news done and dusted. However, we'll try and have a build segment for you next week, as I'm sure it's going to be a quiet week in the Division. That being the case, I said it. Yes, I did it.
Yes. Everybody drink now.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I said it once. Don't call me a can't.
I didn't.
That being the said. Guys, what have you been up to this week? I'm gonna go to Robert.
Do you reckon you could guess?
I could make a guess. I'm not sure you'd like the guess I'd like to say.
I attempted the Prestige raid again on PS4. We got to the boss again, and didn't get past him. It's really.
Can you show me the emotion on your face of how much fun you are doing having whilst running the Prestige Callus raid?
I enjoy.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's pretty much it. That's what I want.
Fuck you. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. It's because of the people I do it with. It's all good fun. The fact that we spent like 2 hours trying to kill the boss again, that doesn't bother me at all.
Just so you're saying you're looking forward to
afterwards
next
we're only
Tuesday
going to get
when you
like
get to do it
6
again.
tokens and one piece of loot anyway. So it's not really, we're not really doing it for the loot at the end of the day.
Doing it for the thrills.
Yeah. It's just a challenge. I've been playing it on PC as well. That's really all I've done. Although I have bought the Mass Effect trilogy today, I'm going to be playing that.
Nice. That might take you a little bit of doing to get through all 3 games and DLC. But I have faith in you.
I'm a machine.
You've got
I'll do it.
4 weeks. Was it 4, 3 weeks?
Gaming machine.
That's what you own.
Oh yeah, I own 2. Well, 3 technically.
Fucking hell. Luke, dude, what have you been up to, man? I know you've been raging it in the DZ, I guess.
Yeah, I shied away from the DZ a couple of nights this week. I've been grinding out those commendations. I actually tried Underground again this week, and that's just really difficult and still quite boring, to be honest.
What's your
Did you fall
commendation
asleep?
score at?
It's over 3,000 now.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I have seen one agent running around with over 4,000, which really annoyed me. So I thought I was making a lot of progress, but I think I'm going to play Survival when we're finished recording this. I haven't played Survival for a couple of weeks, so I might have to go and do that. Get just another weekly cache.
Nice.
Exotics for 1.8. I'm maxed out on DivTech again, so I need to spend some of that again, yeah.
You don't need to spend it, just hold on to it. You're fine.
Well, if you craft it down, I've got more tools to use, and then I can just get more DivTech. So, but yeah, I think the glitch, whatever you want to call it, is becoming just that little bit more common now. So it's getting worthwhile staying out of the dark zone.
So it's fair on both sides, are we saying?
It's kind of good. No YouTubers like come out and told anyone how to do it, so it's not spreading that quickly. What?
I may have seen a video on how to do it. I'm not going to say where I saw it or who posted it, but yeah, I kind of know how to do it. But, yeah.
I mean, I watched like a Portuguese. I think it all stemmed from some Portuguese dude, didn't it? I think.
I'm not sure, mate. To be honest,
that was
he
the
saying
original
la la
video.
la la bamba?
Like he showed you how to do it, but I also didn't understand what he was saying because he was foreign.
I think
We better end the show right there.
Well, I was just going to say next week I think I'll be playing quite a bit of PUBG. I've missed PUBG. I need to get back on that. So
Yeah. Anything else you might be catching up with over the next week? We should get on. I know I spoke to you about playing Overwatch.
oh yeah, we're going to play that tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, and Rob, you're going to try Overwatch on PC, I believe. Rainbow Six Siege is free as well over the weekend.
I already have that.
So
We should play some of that as well. I forgot I'd got Siege. I'm going to uninstall Fortnite Battle Royale because I don't like it, and then I'm going to play some more Siege.
I'm going to update it because it had that brick breaking.
Guys, install it on PC and play with me.
No.
Oh,
You're such a drama queen then.
Guys, I've got no friends on PC.
I don't.
Brittany, calm
It's
down.
sad.
Yeah, go and shave your head, Brittany.
Hey, I wasn't naming specifics. It could have been Courtney. It wouldn't have made no freaking difference. And yeah, I haven't been up to much.
Oh yeah, what have you been up
Yes,
to?
you have. You've been playing a game and streaming it.
Oh yeah, I think this is the longest break I've took from the Division, which is from last Thursday till now. Like recently. No, recently.
Liar, pants on fire.
Yeah, I've been streaming Surge. I've been trying to stream it every step of the way. For some reason, I have no idea why. Because third boss last night pretty much almost led me to rage quit. But I'm getting there. I think I'm just almost halfway. So it's brutal though.
Whilst we're talking about streaming, I'm going to give a real quick shout out to Matt Goes Book. If you don't follow him on Twitch already, please go and do so. He is, in my opinion, the best Division streamer that's still streaming the Division on a regular basis. So yeah, go and check him out. That's at Matt Goes Book on, no, it's not, twitch.tv/Matt Goes Book.
Yeah, huge props to him because unfortunately, once all the big Division streamers come back, well, I say big Division streamers, they're off playing, Destiny, Fortnite, and they'll be like, oh, we love this game. It's like, no, you burnt your bridges on the way out, just go away.
Well, we've had kind of this conversation tonight in the Loot and Shoot Inc. DM message thing that we're in with a load of cool guys. I think they'll come back for a bit, but they'll go again. I think they'll come and try the new stuff, realize it's still the same game that they potentially got bored of already, and disappear back to like Fortnite or PUBG or Destiny 2 or Warframe or whatever it is the cool kids are playing.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I would stream The Division, but at the minute, I don't think anybody just wants to watch a video of me dying repeatedly. But then again, I'm playing a game where I literally die repeatedly, so
That's genuinely
it could go either way.
what you do when you play games, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, what, die repeatedly?
Yeah.
In Super Mario?
Right. Why don't you stream some Switch stuff? That'd be interesting.
Can you even do that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
cool.
you can. Yeah, that is one thing I have been playing. I've been playing Doom on Switch, and it's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. There's nothing better than being on your break time and just fucking cutting demons in half with a chainsaw.
How much is a Switch?
Was it $270?
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
But Black Friday's coming up. Yeah, too expensive for you. Rob could pick one off his back garden, so it's fine.
Paying 270 quid for a console I'll play
My
twice.
son's going to buy one, and I'm going to confiscate it.
That's because you're a terrible person.
Next time he doesn't, when next time he does something wrong, and then I'm going to complete all his games.
Yoink.
Switch is awesome. I don't care.
Right, are we done? Can I go and play Survival? Or
No, it's just
Seagulls?
we're just going to keep going, just so we can stop you from.
We're
this is
over an
probably the
hour
longest.
now, guys. Just to point that out.
Yeah, people.
We didn't even get to the questions bit.
You told people
Rob,
to stop listening 10 minutes ago. Why am I still here?
True. I don't know. You
I
have to
stopped
explain
listening
to
10
me why we're
minutes
still
ago.
here. You stopped listening after we pressed record.
What?
Sorry, what? I wasn't listening.
Oh, somebody give that man a round of applause. Don't his head get too big.
Which one?
Why are we whispering? Because you're a liar. You're a liar.
Can we finish the show now, please?
Robert,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi. You can find us at Sitrep Radio on Twitter and Facebook. Tweet us with the hashtag TeamSitRep, as we're all affiliated with that hashtag. If you have any questions or feedback for the show, send them to the email address sitrepRadiopod@gmail.com. Luke?
That's probably the best you've ever done, that dude. Well done.
How many glasses in now are you?
1.5.
We found his optimal amount.
1.5.
Yeah. That's glasses, not bottles.
That's debatable.
You can find Sitrep Radio on any of the following platforms: iTunes, Apple Podcasts for iOS, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Overcast for iOS, Stitcher, Player.fm, Pocket Casts, RSS feeds, Podbean, and please rate, review, and subscribe whilst you're there. Thank you.
Make sure to check out Mash Those Buttons on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Go check out some of the other awesome podcasts that are a part of the Mash Those Buttons family. Prepare to Try is just put out another episode. No, Prepare to Try, that's a different fucking thing altogether. That's Dark Souls.
Prepared to attack.
Prepare to
isn't it?
Attack, that's the one from the Mash Those Buttons family. I think they've just put out, is it Symmetra? I think is the hero that Jarrett's just done the interview with, so you can get some skills with that character.
And don't forget, you can also check out the episodes on YouTube. We also do the IFMs on there as well. Leave a comment and subscribe. That'd be awesome.
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 Luke, Rob,
What?
Mike?
just want to say, enjoyed the company. I just want to thank you both for listening, and everybody else.
Like I said, I wasn't listening.
Well, welcome back. Just like to say welcome back. we'll catch you, I guess, next week. Have a great week, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye. Rob, love you.